So this is a project seeking a line between normal and abnormal. This project is obviously very abnormal, but it has some traits, some selling perks, like people like weird things. Obviously, we have seen this with a lot of different things like Labubus, these PopMart stuff. So we'll find some different references and ideas between it. The name is also a question mark and an exclamation mark. So this is to like show the what we would think our inner monologue with a project. So we'll see this in synergy with the project itself. I'll go through everything and I'll show you what I mean. Um, the name also you pronounce it in a different way. Like you've noticed, I haven't given it a name yet or said the name out loud, except for what the logo you see on screen right now is. And it means like, huh? That's supposed to be the thing. That's what's going on right now. We'll go see at the references right now, and you'll hopefully get some more of the points. So this is an overview of everything. The first one is the Christian tongue. It's obviously like very ironic in the way that it's very sexual of the Christian religion. And I wanted something ironic. Like our project is supposed to represent something ironic, just like the other pages on the screen. Like the big shoes or the tea bag that's actually a bag, but I don't know if there's tea in it. But we can imagine we see tea right there, but it might be just an image. Also, the Instagram of Madame did an amazing job on the magazine there. It's actually a magazine that's wrapped as meat, and the meat is also like the image on the booklet, I guess. So that's a really cool idea, like making a project represent something else. And you really go through it all, like like the different ways of looking at things, you combine them and make something else, like a whole different product. And we will try to represent this as well. What I'm telling here will maybe come in this book as well, so you can actually like read the thoughts and monologue of what I'm saying and really get to know the project by heart. Like it's a project that comes close to my heart and I'm really proud of it. So I hope you can enjoy it too. On the next page is even more like this is even more closely represented of what I am planning to do. Actually, I was planning to do a cane in fabric as well, just like this lady. That's the idea where I got it from. Maybe it's kind of like ripping off, but that's like basically the whole business model. So, yeah, I hope you can already kind of see a line in the project. Like we see these ironic things come back, like the Heinz barbecue ketchup bottle. It's just the color of Heinz, but nail polished. Obviously, very cool and nice. Yeah. So, that's like an idea that will maybe come back. You'll see later. The lens cleaner. Oh my God, I love this one so much. It represented kind of like the whole project. I had my Instagram feed, it feeded me even more like what I wanted, and what I got in return was even better. Raymond also did a great job on on the Canadian flag, of course. We see a different leaf, the wrong leaf, not a maple leaf, like it usually should be. Um, it even says there, incorrect leaf. We see a nipple hat. Not cool, guys. We'll put that in there. That's sexual and we don't like that stuff. Here we see a couple more. I'll just go through them pretty quickly because we see what's going on now, but you can kind of see the line in here. Of course, Nick Bento was a really big inspiration. He was one of the first, it's like a company founded by Nick Bento, of course, a product designer that I really admire. And we will come back to him on a couple slides later because he's just like this designer that really makes what I like. He is one of the people that I look up to in a way. Not that I know him or know many talks of him, but like his product and his designs. Um, I read a couple of his interviews and he says it's really like ironic stuff as well, like I did before. So we'll see him here again with the pasta bag. It has been a kind of like a gag item, more like the just like Mischief has been doing for the last couple of years. They've been really building this brand of weird stuff. So I think we can really break through the market right here. Like it's really good to see different ideas pop into existence with like this weird little twist. People like to buy real weird things, just like the silica bags that are actually candy here. You can't eat these in the real silica bags, but these you can eat because they're candy and they're mostly sugar probably. But I've heard they're really good in the Vsauce video. He explained more of this. So in this one, Grace of Spades, she has also been quite a prominent figure in my in this inspiration tour. Like in this way, she makes these cartoon kind of items, but like in real life, so benches or even kitchen shelves, stuff like that. So that comes back to not in this book, but she's really great. Look her up. Um, Everything else speaks for its own. Only the retro style. This is something that was at first in the project. It came up a lot. I wanted this retro ice cream type of vibe. You see this still it's kind of getting a trend lately, but I didn't like it with the project I was representing right now, but it did come back. So it it's still in it, but it's more hidden now and low key, and now it's more produced for the masses and Gen Z on its own. So that's the target's audience right now. We'll see even more of that later. Even more fun things. Ralph Lauren, obviously a great artist, I would say, in Kortrijk. So look him up as well. He's great. The boxing gloves will come back later. This isn't a direct reference. It is in a way, but we'll see. Um, so there's the name. Huh? That's the name of our brand. Represents kind of like this silent thought. This doesn't really need to be said out loud, like, but it is kind of fun and like this joking type of noise, like, what the hell? At first, the name was gonna be Why Is It Like This, as you see on the right page, but this changed because why is it like this? We are asking the customer already before they even saw it. So we want to invoke this thought like, what the hell? Why is there even a question mark in the first place instead of asking the question before they even seen anything? And this really represents the wrong thing. We need to have this thought, this weird explanation before weird product before the explanation. We don't want the explanation first. Of course, we won't explain anything because that takes away from everything else. But these were some first logo designs I was going for. Of course, Casper Bros, the managing type. They are the foundry, the company name. And why is it like this was the project thing. So we were kind of like looking for different ways. Of course, we have their cutting mat, envelope, knuckles, and pillows. These are the objects. They will come back. You'll see them later. And these are the object I chose. But the first version was this blue and pink um font, like colors, and the font is sauna, something something, and this red and yellow font is um Oral Horizons. So they are a really funky font. This also comes back to the ice cream we were talking about earlier. That is really was really important to have this weird advertising, this weird everything needed to be weird and weird and weird. But now the branding is more low key and grounded, and the objects can really take their place in the weirdness. So the object is really the weird thing, and we don't have like the weird branding. So people already think, oh, this is a weird thing. This needs to be normal. We want something to look normal, and then we open it, and it's weird, which we'll see now. We changed the branding to a black and white instead of the on top the red and yellow. On the right page, we see again the color scheme we went for first, and then we also see, we don't see this at all actually, but we were going then for a black and white in a different way. So here with the envelope, this is the first object, a metal envelope. The envelope represents an envelope, but it's metal, so we can get it open. That's so fun, right, guys? So these were the first textures and backgrounds for the packaging, actually. We have packaging for every single item. So um, the first one, I just went with the metal render of my envelope. So I had these 3D renders made by my team, of course. And I made this white, blue, and pink color hue to it, so it represented the color scheme of my branding. This we see this again at the second image, where we see the five colors from yellow, blue, a different blue, a pink, and a red. So that's really, I really like this vibe. For different objects, it worked really well, and other object didn't go that well. So I just made it one thing, and we see on this side a white and bluish vibe, and then on the next page we see a more bluish, whitish vibe with on the top. These all were made with the same image we see in small on the top there, left top. These are the reference images where I worked in Photoshop and manipulated them in the way that would look nice and cool. So we want this really cool vibe, like for the peeps, the young guys over there. Our test subjects really liked the vibe we're going for right now. So we'll probably work further on this too in a later stage of the project. Other colors were considered, like black here. We see a black version with pink and blue again, or a black version with just blue. We chose neither of these choices. Actually, like these options weren't that good. I didn't like the vibe, I didn't like the look of it, so we changed it out for a more sustainable blue metal color. We love this color because it reminds us of the earth, the sky, and the sea, of course, the water. It reminds us of home right here. So this is the packaging. This became the packaging. I scanned the box, like the envelope, and put it on the box. I enlarged the image so it looks like this exactly, actually. Um, and this is how I made the first version. This is the stages of the packaging I followed. We have um the first one, we have a really basic one, a really ugly one too. I will admit that. The second one, I don't know why I was going for wood. We'll just go on. Then we came at the middle. A really different vibe as you've seen before. We now have the more we'll say kind of playful vibe instead of the gothic vibe we have right there underneath. And then we have on the right as well a really colorful, playful vibe, but still like this rustic thing going on, which we lose in this. This is a really cooler type of vibe. We also fill this with like packing peanuts to represent the metal envelope, like the postage. All right, so now we have this vibe of like the mail and postage vibes, like these we'll send something in the mail and it's just this envelope, but it's a box actually. And in this box is the envelope we'll see in the next slide. So we see here the first versions of the envelope. The in the top we see a really thick metal. It was about 1 millimeter, maybe even a little bit thicker, and it was really, really hard to bend. We couldn't bend this at all. In the left slide, we see a really much thinner material. It's zinc, and it works in the metal shop we have at St. Lucas, and we work this with the saw and a cutter, and then we also had this bending machine. We worked with a lot of different tools to manufacture this version of the object. We now have a really primitive version, just like two folds, one fold even. Um, it just folds in on itself, so it looks a little bit like an envelope, and it's really small still. In this version, it is just the size of C6. It's the size of an envelope, which you put in your A6 cards. This is a really nice version. We will keep this version, but we'll make some improvements in the following weeks. And on the right, we see a render made in Blender by our great modeler, Casper. The next object, foam knuckles. We always want to defend ourselves. This is human nature. As a man, we want to defend our family, my girlfriends, and everyone else around me. So, we have a softer version. You're a real man, you don't need to have hard knuckles. You want to defend, protect your protect your fist and protect yourself, but still harm like them. Like you still want to really harm them, but your knuckles, they need to be pristine for the next day at work, making money again. Okay. So we have these different backgrounds. They look great. I love these so much. They were both referenced from the same image. Here we see on the in the top left of the link. Yeah, top left. I guess right on the left page. Um, that version is made just with a gradient map, and on the right we see a version also partly made with a gradient map and mostly made with multiplier or like color dodge and all those different layers you can use in Photoshop. I really recommend checking these out for like cool star effects, and also using this weird mattress foamy like texture. It really creates this cool starry night vibe. These were these were also for the packaging, by the way. So these are versions for the text on the packaging. We want to really emphasize what this product is by like this metally vibe on the packaging, but inside it's actually not metal. You'll see that later as well. So we have this metally thingy uh in this block on this box like printed, but we didn't go for this, and I'll not explain this later. It just looked kind of tacky. I'll show you another version. So these are the test versions. I made a version in 3D and a poster like version. This might be cool to print out. You'll get for 9.99 you get a poster printed to you for A2 size if you read this. send a mail to casper@casipo.com. And on the right, we see another version. Actually, it's probably the same version, but the box is a little bit different. I also chose another box later. We'll see that in the later page. So this is a version that I made while I still was going for the really colorful vibe. I really love this version. I really wanted to keep this one, but the other ones just didn't really fit the same vibe. And that's why I changed this one as well. And I'm still really, really happy with this. So this is the new vibe. We see the progression from top to bottom on the left page. So it's still kind of the same on this side. And then um, we still have the same logo and other information. We take away another part of the logo in the second version, and then we have the final version with just a white logo. This just works really well, in my opinion, and we see this on the right side as well, that we have a really nice, clean version with just a white, and the box still stays pink actually, so it reminds you of like more of the teeth, like the what's it called? Tooth flesh. I'll just call it that right now, okay? No one's gonna if you're reading this, send me an Instagram message or anything. I'm really curious of what you think of the book. In this we see yeah, here we see the making of the stickers on the box. So we have this little oh yeah, I don't know if you notice, but the box is like this dental box. You put your mouth guards in this. Usually after you went to the dentist or orthodontist, they give you a little box with this with your teeth in version like this plaster version, and then that's what it comes in. So here we make the stickers for on the box. We see a little bit of a version right there. I'll mark it out right there. We see the version. That's really cool. So, and there it's printing on the right side. Wait, on this side it's printing, yeah. And then we have a better picture on this side. We see our logo from Casper Bros. We had this logo last semester in 2025 as well for a uniform. We had this same kind of weird project where I made a uniform for a graphic designer. Really look this up to at the casipo.com. And on the right side, we see our final version of the box. Did you notice? That's a lie. This is not the final version. The final version was gonna be pink. If you didn't catch that, you weren't paying attention for real. So pay attention from now on. Um, yeah, it's now a blue box. That's the box it came in, and we colored this ourselves with plenty of hand painted really beautifully hand painted version. We'll see a version here. This is a beautifully painted hand version on the right side, and on the left side, we see the ugly, 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 horrendous blue version. On the right, on the left side. I did say that, right? Okay, yeah. On the right side, we see a beautiful pinkish color that reminds us of toothy flesh stuff around your teeth, which is great. It also reminds me that I can actually map out your fucking teeth. Yeah, so look out. I won't because I'm a really, really nice guy, but some people might want to. And we need to really look out for this. You can't just really walk around safely on the streets. We know this. That's why we carry guns. But in case those stupid ass liberals take our guns, we need to be prepared and have this by our sides. Right? All right. So this is the final version. Probably. This might change in the final version, and there will be no notice on this page, except for my words right now. But you'll not see a picture in this book because the book is already in manufacturing. Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I might put in a picture um, on the screen right now if I'll make it like if I have time for that. But now we'll go into manufacturing of the actual product. So first, we took this metal version we saw in the references and traced this. We traced this with Illustrator, and then we also made a Blender version. So a 3D version we see on the bottom there and at the top on the right. So here's it overlaid. I'm trying to make this work as well as possible while still having real life constraints, of course. In this version, the holes are actually too big and the walls look really flimsy and don't really work like that. So this is the first real life version. At first, I really hoped I could manufacture it in some way, which wasn't possible in many ways because I thought the material I had was poisonous or toxic, actually. So um, it didn't work as well, and I had to cut it with like a knife and scissors and shit, and it looked like that, and it was really fucking gross, and I will never look at it the same. It really feels nicer to hold if you have this version in your hand. It feels like really soft and nice, which later versions, spoiler, it will be better actually. No, worse. It will feel kind of weirdly sticky in a way. In on the right side, on this page 61, we see a thinner version and a thick version. You might think, yeah, the lines are a little bit thinner and on the second one than the third one, but that's not what I'm talking about. The holes in the where you put your fingers in are also a little bit smaller, so the walls feel way better and not as flimsy as they used to. So that's how I changed the size to a little bit smaller on the top, as you can see. Here's where I was laser cutting the new version. So this new version, I actually did take the risk. I said I still didn't know if it was toxic, but we took the risk and put it under the laser cutter, and this really worked so well. It didn't leave any smoke as well, so it presumably isn't toxic. It smelled a little bit weird when you put it up to your nose, but that's like stuff we can forget and not think about at all. Actually, this doesn't actually matter as long as we can blame it on China. These are the different parts, the different elements of the boxing glove. We have no, it's not a boxing glove, just brass knuckles. We cut it out of like these little strips, and um yeah, that's the parts that came out of it. I also made a wooden version, which works just like a normal brass knuckle. Fun fact, they used to also be made out of wood, just anything hard you can punch with. It's actually also illegal to own, like to walk around with this version, not with our version. So that's also like a great selling point. Our version is soft. That's what they say at least. If you punch hard enough, anything's hard enough. So just punch hard like a man, okay? But these wooden versions are illegal as well as the metal versions. These foam versions are great to take around and punch people. We'll also see a little metal version. No, not metal. We see a little hanger. We have taken inspiration from Labubu and other PopMart versions to take these things with us at all times, just like these carabiners at their waist belts. Those hooligans take them all. They'll eat it up. Um, these were the final version. This was the final version on the right. No, on the left and on the right, these were other versions I made with like different types of foam, and these didn't work at all. They got really weirdly. In this picture, they might look kind of fine. The bottom one looks kind of fine, but in real life, it feels really weird. I actually have it laying around right here. So this is the version we see, and it looks really weird and ugly, which our absolute final version doesn't and looks great. So we love that. We love seeing this. These were flyer poster type of deals. We had mocked up to see on the right side, we see kind of like the CRTV vibe because I wanted to the same vibe we have going right now. Like you make an object useless by using them, right? I don't know if you've seen this in the projects I've shown you right now, but here we actually I'll explain it in a way like our object becomes useless if you have it. Like a foam knuckle isn't gonna work as well as a metal knuckle. So I created these inverse ironic versions of the objects as well, just like with the metal. And we'll see this with the cutting mat and the pillow as well later. Um, but the CRTV look was kind of to make this vibe of like printing out a digital version. Like we're printing out something we see on TV actually instead of what it should be. Um, the top one on the right is also dithering. So that's kind of with the same thing. We see dithering in games and movies, animation actually like back in the days, 1990s, stuff like that. We see these kind of retro 2000s type of thing, and that comes back now. It's kind of trending right now, so that's why I use this too. These are 3D renders, which look pretty nice. The next one is the cutting mat. A really interesting one, probably one of my favorites, right now at least. So the cutting mat is made out of cardboard. The cardboard is um pretty thin, just like a cutting mat would be in real life. We also had the same type of packaging deal. We wanted to have like this yeah, cardboard vibe on the image, but then suddenly it is cardboard, I guess, and really colorful like the designs before that we didn't use. On the right, we see different ways we could make a contraption to carry these things. So I was really thinking about how I could take this with me. And we see on the right a couple of different versions. We have one with like a handle, like a handbag. This would be really cool if it was worked out really well and looks really nice. On the second one is one where we have like this double-sided type of design kind of made out of plastic, but this didn't fit in with the rest of the project. So the rest of the objects aren't really like this. They don't have like this element that this one has. And then there's two different designs were also like meant to be out of fabric or something, while the second one should be like plastic or something clear, something like really sturdy and designed, like this vibe of, oh, you have something that's really premium. I really like this actually, like the handle that felt really premium and really made for this purpose. But this wasn't in the budget, and as well, like I just said, it just didn't really fit in with the other objects. While I might still finish this in a personal project or like something different, a different vibe we would be having. Here I was testing different ways to climb on onto the cutting mat so we could carry it. In the first version we saw before, so it had a little handle. These were different versions I was considering, but they left a little mark. On the right side, we don't see it as well as the left side. There we can see a mark really clearly in the middle. Um, but we didn't end up going for this at all, actually. This is the version I was talking about with a clearly designed version. This is a 3D version. I really love this version. So um, keep in touch if you really want to see this. Um, Send a little email and I'll get back to you and maybe I can produce this especially premiumly for you. That would be really sick. So reach out and we can discuss this further. This is really like the making of the object itself. On the right side, we have two different versions I made for the cardboard to send into PixArt printing. The printing company I chose to run with this time around. So they were really great at offering different types of options. This is actually an email interaction I had with them since the first version I made. We see this at the left in top. I had a different version as the second one we see below, right below it. But the first version had like these really weird yellow lines all over them. So I really couldn't go for that. Like I had to reach out and say that it wasn't up to my standard, and they agreed. So this is like a short email interaction I had with them. They were really lovely. While I did think like the I mean, they really did help me out and gave me a great option. But the conditions where I could under which I could use the coupon were pretty bad, I would say. I could only use it on one product, so I couldn't use it on my whole cart. And I had to choose um beforehand which one would be the product I would end up getting the sale on, which I guess is fine, but if I only ordered like a couple ones, it would be way under the budget because the first version costed $64, no euros, 64 euros, and the second version costed way less because I chose also between two versions. I bought a 1 centimeter one and a 4 millimeter one. And I ended up going for the 4 millimeter one, which was a little bit cheaper. So I had to order way more than I wanted. I actually enjoyed having a lot more so I could test it out. I also have this version on the right which I cut up and try to break, which it's really sturdy cardboard actually. I don't know if I hoped for it to be less sturdy and I could really tear it up and really play with it and stuff. So this is like a min-maxing type situation we have going, but it's totally fine. And we really work great with this cardboard, and Pixar printing really helped us out, although I might not go for it for other things. Even though the box I showed you earlier by the metal envelope is also by Pixar Printing, fun fact. These are different ways I was testing out the bag. So I have these like paper documenting bags. Like we have these folders, kind of see-through folders, and I was making holes in them or using the perforated holes that are already in them to put metal rings in them. So the metal didn't stretch out if I put anything in them for carrying, which we'll see in this page. We put in like a little key hanger to take it with you or put on your keys. And this is a great way to carry it around, have it always with you if you need cutting. Even though the cutting mat is cardboard, we really like it's great for cutting in straight lines. Like the cardboard is this waving cardboard, so it really gets stuck in the lines. It's great for cutting. So we have this selling point, and I think the consumers will love it. Also, you can hang it in your room or anywhere else like an art piece, and it really works great. I love having it in my office. Right next to the view I have here in New York City. Um, the the thing is like the cutting mat is A3. We see this by the A4 paper on the left, and on the right side we see another 3D render. I might make some more which could look nice in like a lineup of different renders, and I really love Blender as well, so it's like a great program. A lot of people would agree. It's free as well, so no costs to the company right now for that. We have a lot of costs for other things like the products itself. They're not cheap at all to produce. For the consumers, I might make a little deal. If you want to buy some, just hit me up. Please, please, I need to get rid of these. Like, I have 15 laying around and I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Also, for the later projects and the previous projects, not all of them. Actually, the previous projects, I don't have, like, I don't want, I can't really make more of them. I only have a limited supply. So if you want those, hit me up. I can probably make a deal for you. But if you don't, like, if you really think like, I really like one of I really like all of his projects, but I don't know which one I should get. You should really get this one. This is the best one, and it's cheaper for you. So it's kind of like a win-win. I can also order even more if you guys really love it. If they go out of stock like instantly, I will replace them all. Yeah. So, okay, this is for the concrete pillow. I didn't say that yet, but I also made a concrete pillow. The concrete pillow is supposed to be really nice and hard. I haven't really gotten it down to like what I want yet. But in these versions, we have really nice backgrounds. These are also nice backgrounds. We have three nice backgrounds, but the cardboard wasn't working with me. And like this real cutting mat material also didn't look that nice. So we had to like compromise and changed everything up. On the right side, we see an improved version. Improved. It has less colors, so my printer doesn't suffer as much. And because otherwise with inkjet, you can have like these lines across them. We were trying to print on fabric as well. So it's like a bag type of thing for your pillow, just like you would sleep on it, you know. And with more white it would look more natural. I even though I would not use this anymore, and I'm not gonna use this version of the background either. This is just for show, and you won't really see this in this book as well unless I can finish it before right now. And I'm recording this for you, so too bad, huh? In this, we tried like instant filler. This is for gaps between your tiles actually, but it might get this concrete effect. We see a pretty good concrete effect on this actually. On the left side, we don't see the concrete effect at all. Um, but we're still spreading it out. But on the right, we see a pretty good texture for concrete. It was pretty convincing, even though it was still soft and you could really press it in. Now we were working on a version with real concrete, like so I won't be scamming you guys. I would never scam anyone, but watch out. But this new version really works well. The version has It's really hard. It's solid as well, but the sides are still a little bit crinkly and I'll try something else. It also feels like plastic. I put concrete in a plastic bag so it would look like a pillow. In some ways, it really does look like a pillow, and other ways, it looks like not a pillow at all. So we'll have to find a way to mend these two versions. Maybe I'll do another layer of these fixed things, but I'll probably just try another time for the concrete version. It also dried in less than a day, so it's actually like the best option we have so far. These are some more renders. We obviously have the most renders of the pillow. I say this obviously as if it's like a given. We have the most renders of this, but I was just having a lot of fun putting some different compositions. I really love the vibe, this like sleek, minimal vibe, but also like what the hell are we photographing, right? I kind of have this abstract vibe, and we also see this in different projects of mine. Conceptual.com, please visit. Here we have some different renders. So I had a lot of different ideas. I had even more of these, but I worked these out, and these were the options I really loved. So the first versions were life on a stick. I had different things we use in life, different things we can get addicted to. Like I really love money, so a stick of money and a gambling chip, or um alcohol, drugs, stuff like that. And here's cinder block. A little thing. We have the metal ear stick and a toothbrush that actually says tooth in like a weird font. And it's also not a brush. It has like teeth on the end. We see this here. Like you can really see the teeth on the thing. So that's really cool. Um, Here wooden earplugs. These were real options I was considering for the project. It really fit into it. I also was considering five objects instead of four that I have right now. On the right side, we also see an object I was considering. It is like a folding measurer, and it has instead the alphabet and how many times the letter is used in the English literature and stuff like that, like English texts. But I really didn't like the integration of this object with the objects I have right now, so that's why I didn't go for this at all. This is another version of the pillow, and that's the end. I should probably put this with the other ones. Okay, thanks for listening. Um, I might record something, a little message later for you guys when I'm at home in my apartment. All right, thank you.